evening to all of my beautiful and delicious star signs, okay? Now then, this video that I'm doing this evening, okay, I've really felt the need to do this evening, okay? So let me just put some little light on the subject. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, beam me up, Scotty. There we go. Okay. Now then, there's something that I want to talk about. And, well, actually, I want to talk about a number of things, actually. But as I've never had the opportunity, before, before I did YouTube, I've never had the opportunity before to, to discuss or to say or, to air my feelings on certain matters. So what I want to do with this video is cover a number of subjects, okay? Now, obviously, I do not wish to get kicked off here, to be perfectly honest with you, because that's not very sociable, is it? But anyway, right? But I wish to talk about a number of things, okay? And what I want to talk about is what is going on right now in the world, because this is something that is very close to my heart. Do you know what I mean? This is so very close to my heart because we are seeing so much destruction in the world, and this is to every single star sign, okay? So I'm not doing a reading at this moment in time, but can I just say to you that I will be going on to Rumble, okay, yes, okay, and what it is, I'm going to be doing readings over there, okay, and secondly, what I'd like to say to you is that I can speak about different topics on Rumble, okay, but at this moment in time, maybe I'm pushing my luck with what I'm going to say. But as I always say, God loves the truth. He loves the truth, does he not? So what we're seeing at the moment, okay, we've got the war to do with Russia and Ukraine. We've got all of that going on. Okay, and we have to really give our hearts out to Ukraine right now. And what I'd also like you to do, all my little lovelies, and this is so very, very, very important now, please follow my beautiful and delicious little Alex Christoforo. Please follow, our lovely Duran. Please follow those as well on YouTube. You can also find them on Rumble. Okay, and please follow Gonzalo. Now he's under Coach Red Pill. That's on YouTube. Okay, so please follow all of these gentlemen because you are going to get the truth here. Okay, so we're in a very dire situation. And what it is in the world right now, we are suffering immensely. I mean, come on. I mean, you've got travel. I mean, no one can travel. Do you know what I mean? We are really, really suffering here. I mean, whatever the definition of the word normal is, but, we should be having a beautiful, beautiful life where everybody should be able just to live their lives. They go to work, they come home, they do their normal this, that and the other. okay? But the fact of the matter is, the majority of individuals, well, they just want to have just a normal life, to be able to live that normal life, okay? And right now, nobody's been able to do that. And the reason why nobody's been able to do that is because of the hire. Do you see? So this is all about control. Okay? It's about control. It's about control with your food that you eat, with the drinks that you drink. Everything is controlled. And I've been wanting for weeks and weeks to discuss this, because you've got so many individuals out there, okay, who are really, really suffering. I mean, that they are suffering. It's colossal what is happening right now. And it is evil, evil. See, my shoulders go up, confirmation. And it is wrong what is taking place. You have got families who have been torn apart. Okay? You've got suicides. I'm sorry to everybody out there. Please, dear God, Jesus Christ of mercy, I'm so, so sorry. And Jesus Christ of Nazareth. But you've got suicides. You have got individuals who are intoxicated 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You have got individuals on the man and woman on the streets. They've got nowhere to go. Okay? And this is what we are suffering right now. And we have been for many, many, many years. Okay? And nobody's done a thing about it. Now, if we go back to 1664, okay, and let's just get this correct here, that at the end of the day, right, and books have been burnt and everything's been burnt because we've had to go with this, what we've been told. Okay, well, it's wrong. And I want to show you all something this evening, and this is the first opportunity that I've had to do it now. When I buried my beautiful dear mother, God rest her beautiful dear soul, God bless you, Mum, right? When I buried my dear mother, it was on the 3rd of March, okay? And we're going back now 21 years, okay? And she too suffered. She suffered in her life. You know, what it is that sometimes when it comes to the mind, okay, when it comes to the mind, you know, who can solve that? When all that we're ever suffering is conflict. And I'm going to show you a photograph. Now, I've never done this. Now, if my daughters, okay, get offended, or anybody else feels the way that they do, well, I'm sorry that you feel that way, but this is my opportunity now to tell you the truth. And my dear mother passed away at the age of 49. 49. And what did she pass away with? Because I'm going to tell you all now. I'm not going to hide it. You know, I've only ever really, you know, my close dear friends know. Okay? That you know, they know fully well. And for my dear friends who are blessed to meet my dear mum, I mean, she was as bad as a hatter. Honestly, she made the cat laugh. Do you understand what I mean? But what I'm saying to you is this, is that she passed away with alcoholism. And I'm going to show you a photograph of her now. And for some reason, this has made me do this evening. I cannot explain to you, okay, why, but I'm going to do it now. So I'm going to show you a photograph of my dear mother and myself. And we're going back some years now. So here's the photograph. Okay. Now, my dear friend, God love her, my beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous and delicious, beautiful little friend Jazz, she went and got the photograph blown up for me. Okay, back last year. Now, my dear mum, she suffered. And she suffered because of this. Can you see? Now, when we look at what is going on in the world, and I'm not ashamed to say this, and this video is going to go out because I have something to say here. That's what all of this in this past 2.5 years has done to man, woman and child. Beautiful little animals, little and large, beautiful little and large birdies, you know, beautiful little creatures, great and small. What it has done to everybody. Okay? Now, you could get somebody in the world who, okay, even if you're a millionaire, even if you're a billionaire, even if you're a trillionaire, who cares? Who really, really cares? Because the fact of the matter is, there are families out there that you are destroying. You're destroying people. In fact, I'm not going to say people because people mean sheeple, and I'm not going to do that, so please correct me. I'm going to correct my words. Okay? You're destroying individuals. You're hurting them. You're hurting families. You know, when alcohol was brought in, when it was brought into this country, decades and decades and decades ago, who brought it in? Who brought the drugs in? Who brought the knives and the guns in? One has to take a very good look at this, at who did what. Okay? Now, if we go back to World War II, you know, my dear Nana, God rest her beautiful dear soul, my beautiful dear Nana, love dear Nana, okay? Right? When she said that, you know, even things like lemons were a ration, everything was a ration. Well, we shouldn't have to live this life. We should never, ever, ever have to live this life. Because we were born free. And for those out there, okay, if you want to learn something, because I like to feel that my videos are very educational, okay? For the ones who do not, well, I'm very sorry. Skip my channel. Because you know what? I've only just started anyway. I'm so very thankful, dear God, Jesus Christ of mercy, and dear Jesus Christ of Nazareth, okay, for all of my subscribers that I have now, okay, and who watches my videos. But at the same time, if you're not willing to listen, it's all about listening, you know? If you're not willing to listen, then where are we going here? Do you see what I'm saying to you? So I want to get back to the Neanderthals, which you can actually find on YouTube. And then you can see Okay, how let's rewind. You can see how the Neanderthals worked. Now, they had very little clothing, okay, but you had the women who picked the, woman who picked the, I don't know, fruit and vegetables and everything else. And then, of course, you had the man who went out to go and do what they did, to go and get the other food, which of course I do not eat meat, I eat fish, but I do not eat meat. Okay, but that's what they did. Okay, so they worked together. Now, if you actually look at this, okay, from a common sense point of view, okay, what it is that it did not require any money. Pound, shilling and pence, dollars and change. It never required that. Because everybody just worked together. It's like if you go back to Native Americans, okay, like in their little teepees and all that, with all the feathers. I mean, I actually find it so fascinating, so beautiful, And really, what you should be doing, I cannot tell you what to do. I can only advise. But really, for those of you out there who happen to stumble across my channel, happen to stumble across my reading, okay, well, it's not even really a reading. I'm just having a coffee. Look, I'm having a coffee and a conversation. Look, I love my coffee. Please excuse me and thank you. But what I'm saying to you is this. You need to go back to basics. Okay? Because what's happening right now, we are, and I said this 2.5 years ago, in fact, the little birdies let me know 3 weeks before the first lockdown. They let me know what was going on. Dear Spirit, my dear spirit guides, they let me know what was going on. And then I was getting dreams like, and songs, because I'm sure that you've seen on my other videos that, that song, T-Rex, Children of the Revolution. That's what's happening right now. Okay? Because you've got thousands upon thousands all over the world who've woken up to this shite. And that's not swearing, by the way. And I'm so sorry that I'm even, But the fact of the matter is that that's what I'm saying to you. So right now, you've even got young bairns, tiny little bairns like this, committing suicide. What the hell is going on? You've got adults, men and women, man and woman. They cannot cope with life anymore. And why can they not cope with life anymore? Because of our putrid bloody government. And all the governments all over the world. And then we got the war. Okay, that's just another distraction. It's just another distraction from what reality really is. Which is that we've been blooming controlled. And this has got to end, and it will end, because they're not going to win. They're not. And I say my prayers every single day. Every single day I say my prayers. And for all of you out there, please look at on YouTube. He's the best in the business, okay? And I shouldn't have said that business. But anyway, the fact of the matter is, God's work, well, everything's business, isn't it? But who you need to look at is Mr. Pastor 77. So it's Mr. Spacebar, Pastor Spacebar 77. And please, dear God, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, please start doing your prayers here. Because we really, really, really need to start fighting back here. I do not mean in literal terms, okay? What I am talking about is it is the power of the mind. And right now, and for the past 2.5 years, that's what they've been doing, trying to take our minds. Okay? Now, it's not happening with me because nobody's sticking nothing into me and nobody's making me muzzle myself up, because when I was born, my dear mother, God rest her beautiful dear soul, and my dear father gave me the breath of life. Not to have this covered. I'm really having a rant now. And if YouTube wishes to kick me off, well then, you know what? I do not care. I'll just go on to Rumble, or I'll find somewhere else to go. Because at the end of the day, we need to talk about this. We need to talk about the destructions of families, what's happened. We need to talk about, you know, when you're forced to have something against your will, against your rights as a sovereign being. And we need to talk about all of this. I mean, I'm a qualified angelic healer, you know, so I do healing, okay? But what I'm saying to you is, I mean, I'm not a miracle worker. I mean, I wish to dear God, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, that I was. But I am not at this present time. I can only help individuals. But when it's all in your mind here, you know, we're talking about a very difficult area here, because there's so much hurt, there's so much pain, okay? Now, when individuals grow up, they grow up, but, you know, a lot of them have gone through, and I'm not just talking about ones who, you know, who do not have the pound, shilling and pence, dollars and change. I'm talking about ones who have money, but they've also been brought up in a life where they've had to, you know, they've had to toe the line in some way, or they've had to do something, you know, which that's acceptable to life. And this is what we're seeing. We're seeing so much of it. So when is this going to end? The only time when it's going to end is that when we say enough is enough. Because there are millions of us and there are a few of them. Now, I live in the UK. Well, that's common sense. I'm not being rude to you all. You can tell by my accent, I'm a Brummie. I'm from Birmingham in the UK. And the fact of the matter is that we have been lied to, deceived by our governments, by the royal family, the fake royal family they are, okay? We have been deceived. And yes, everybody praises them. It's laughable. It's laughable. Sorry, there's no R in laugh. Okay, it's laughable. When you watch them, they're dripping in jewels, they're dripping in everything. They're taking the pee out of everybody. And then we go on to Churchill, which I was listening to on the Duran. Okay, now I happen to agree with Gonzalo. Because at the end of the day, Churchill, let me tell you about Churchill, shall I? This one that everybody says, oh yeah. He's this marvellous man. I'm not going to call him a gentleman because he's not a gentleman. Well, he's not now, is he? But he used to wake up every single morning, okay, when others were hungry. You know, normal folk like you and I. And he used to wake up every single morning and have a full English breakfast and a couple of tots of whiskey. And yet, everybody, this is what really, and even when I put a comment on the Duran, then I had something come back at me, which is very rare. You know, do not talk to me and do not give me your negative energy because you're not willing to see the truth. The fact of the matter is, I've done all my research, my little love. Do you see what I mean? And I know exactly what's what. And you see, this is a fact. The rich get richer and the poorer gets poorer. I mean, you can have a family gentleman who goes out and works 7 days a week. God bless him. He's not having that time with his family. He's not having that time with anybody. Because he's just work. But who invented money? Go back to 1664. Okay? Now, I mean, you probably heard me on previous videos, but yes, I was in jewellery for 10 years. And I used to do the accounts and I used to do, you know what I mean? I used to sort all of the diamonds, rubies, you know, I used to do all of that. Right? But the fact of the matter is, gold holds its weight. You have to watch the gold market. It can go up, it can, you know, it can inflate, it can deflate. Okay? But you can also purchase gold. And by the way, in case you're wondering, no, nobody said this to me. Like I said, I was in jewellery for 10 years. Okay? And at the end of the day, you know, you hold on to it. You can go to other places in the world, you know, and then you can trade it. Okay? But what I'm saying to you is that what we're dealing with a putrid, evil, individuals. That's what we're dealing with. They're evil, they're corrupt, they're nasty, and they use their little puppets to do their dirty work. And yet these little puppets, can I just say, have got no skin on their face, and that's an old-fashioned Jamaican saying, and this goes back flipping decades. They've got no skin on the face because they're feeding their fat faces, and I'm not being nasty to anyone who's overweight out there, dear God, Jesus Christ. You know, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. So I'm not being, that's just figure of speech, but they're feeding their fat faces with the best of food, with the best of everything. And then they come out and then they preach to us. Like in the lockdowns, look what happened there then. Let's take a look at that, shall we? What they were doing. You know, the youngest Ben, the youngest child, was 11 years of age. And he, God bless his beautiful, beautiful dear soul, okay? But he couldn't even have his family in the hospital when he passed away. I'm disgusted. And I've got 2 daughters of my own who are 20 and nearly 16. And I'm telling you now, dear God, Jesus Christ of mercy, nobody would stop me from doing anything. What's happened is the world, you've got these blooming, where they just follow everything and they just believe everything. So somebody said to you, okay, somebody turned around and said, okay, let's go and play with the traffic, or let's go and jump. I'm not going to say that because I actually know, dear God, Jesus Christ, I'm not going to say that. Okay? Because I actually know somebody who did jump off a cliff. Okay? And I'd only seen him weeks before, and I wished to dear God that I'd have gone out to go and say hello, but... And dear Spirit even gave me my ear, they spoke to me and said his name. And then I seen him. What I'm saying to you is this. If you feel that I'm having a rant, well then fair enough. That's up to you. And if you do not like my channel, do you know what? I do not even care. And that sounds really, really nasty. And I'm not being disrespectful to all of my subscribers and to anyone who happens to stumble across my channel or my video. Okay, I'm talking about the ones who are little, you know, hey, you're wrong. Am I now? Am I wrong when you've got to go? I mean, when I look at individuals in cars, taxi drivers and everyone, and they're all wearing these blooming masks, which are about as much use as an ashtray on a motorbike or a flipping chocolate teapot. They're absolutely no blooming use at all. Yet everybody seems to be brainwashed. What is going on? You know, and you look at these individuals and you cannot help it because, you know, in the first year, I'm telling you now what happened. I tried to talk to individuals. I tried my hardest, dear God, Jesus Christ. And I tried to explain, okay? And I tried my best to explain. And I said, please do not take it, you know, you're a healthy individual. You know, I walk out with my beautiful little Rubes, you know, my little Springer Spaniel. I said, please do not do it. So what happened? 3 on the same road, on my road. So what did they do? They took, and let me tell you, and it's not all, it is not all the real thing, because they've played this very, very, very cleverly as how they've done it. And in fact, I said that some of it was dummies, and a month later it went up on BitChute. And I'd said it the month before. Now, what we're seeing now, okay, what we're seeing now is individuals driving like nutcases, like nutters, like headers. I mean, whatever's gone on, whatever they've been given, those are the ones who have not had the real thing. I've seen others on my road where all of a sudden they've got walking sticks and crutch, you know, these crutch sticks. Okay? Others, massive cold sores. Because they've been injected with something. But because they followed our putrid, evil government, and by the way, over these weeks, I've had numerous come to my door and hand me leaflets. Oh, vote for this. I'm not voting for nobody, and I haven't done for years now. Why must you vote to line the pockets of scum? Because that's what they are. They're scum. And I want the world to know it. Now, if my video gets taken down, well, okay, it gets taken down. But I just want to make a very valid point here. That so many individuals have been deceived, they've been lied to. Everything has suffered. If we look at schools, if we look at universities, if we look at nurseries, everything's programming. Why do you feel that you've got the word program? Oh, let's look at this program. It's to program you, ooga. Do you see? That's why I prefer to call it a show. Because it's a show, isn't it? Because we're all on a stage. And that's what these higher have done. But where they're coming unstuck now, and this is where they are coming unstuck, is because you've got too many who are now waking up. Okay, so they're using a third eye here. You see? Because they're saying to themselves, okay, you can have 1, you can have 2, you can have 3, you can have 4. Well, what's that going to do? And what about the flu one? That's another one as well, actually. And one of my dear friends of over 20 years passed away because she was injected with blooming... this is what I have to say. Now, if anybody disagrees with me, will you just disagree with me? Please leave me a comment, but please be sure that I'm going to comment you back very nicely. Do not go there with me. Please and thank you, thank you, thank you. Because I know what I'm talking about. I've done enough research to know. And also, we look at China, we look at all these places. Eventually, they're going to flop anyway. I mean, I personally have met a lot of Chinese and they're absolutely beautiful kindred spirits. Okay? But what I'm saying to you is this. When we actually look at the way it's going to unfold, they're going to flop anyway. And I already know this. And I already looked this up 3 years ago. So the fact of the matter is, we need to pray right now, okay, for all those individuals out there who are suffering right now, the ones who stay in the bedrooms, the ones who will not come out, the ones who are suffering terrible depression, anyone who's on drink, alcohol, drugs. We need to pray for all of these individuals, please, dear God. Okay, we need to pray for Ukraine, what they're going through. Because again, all this is about is control. It's who can control who. It's disgusting. And the highest of the high are throwing their dummy out the pram. Imagine a little baby. Yes, throw it out the pram. That's what they're doing. So what do? They cause conflict. They cause all of this evilness. But it's a distraction away from all the protests and all the freedom rallies and everything, because that's what the whole plan was. Do you see? So once everybody knows what's going on, then we're rocking and rolling. Okay, and I just wanted to do this video this evening because, like I said, I have personal heartache in my own life. And I never wanted my beautiful dear mum. And I will show you her again. I never wanted her to go. Who would? I never envy anyone else. I'm so pleased. Oh, bless them. I'm so pleased for anybody who's still got their dear mum. But what I'm saying to you is I've gone through it myself. So I'm telling you the truth. And it's not pretty and it's not a nice life. Okay? So what I'm saying to you is this. Please, if you happen to stumble and look at my video, before you start passing all of your comments, your thoughts or whatever you want to do in your life, that's up to you. But please just take and listen to what I've just said. Because right now we've all got to stand together, not apart. This is no time for anyone to be apart. Okay, they've stopped travelling. Well, they can do whatever they like. But if we get enough of us, everything's going to be back rocking and rolling, and then we can start to live our lives. Okay, so on that note, that's the video there. Okay, so I'm not saying it to hurt or offend or upset anyone. I'm just making a point that at the end of the day, we need to look at all of these things and we need to pray for all of these individuals because somebody needs to. And all the families who have had to suffer through all of this pandemic because of the putrid blooming British government and any other blooming government. The whole lot bloody disgusts me, it does. And that's how I feel. I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted with the suffering. I'm disgusted with the upset. I'm disgusted with everything. But I say my prayers every day, dear God, Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ of Nazareth. And I pray to my dear angels, spirit guides and everybody else needs to start doing it now. To get ourselves out of this blooming hellhole. And we will see shoulders going up confirmation. So in case you feel like I'm some sort of crazy and nutty woman, well, that's up to you. But there's nothing wrong with my mind. I'm telling you that now. Nothing wrong at all. It's something that I've been wanting to say for a long time, and now I'm saying it. And if it doesn't sit right, And for all you lovers out there who love the fake royal family, well, carry on. Because the only two who I like in there is our beautiful dear Princess Diana, and look what happened to her, and Prince Harry. They're the only two who I like. The rest of them, they're scum. And I'm saying it on the camera now. And if I upset people, well, that's the way it goes. So on that note, until my next videos, take care. Much love to you all. God bless. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.